Hey, one person, go ahead and hit the thumbs up as you enter the room and like, comment, and subscribe, please. Thank you. All right, I'm going to start when people come on because I don't like to start all over. Hey, two people, come on in the room. Come on, say hey, say hi. I'll start in a few more minutes. What? U.S. government and 17 states sue Amazon in landmark monopoly case. Let me see what they talk about. Maybe I should change my topic. No, I'm going to keep what I'm talking about. All right, let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Come on now. Say hey. Sometimes I like to know who's on the chat. At least say hello. Hey, life, are you Lavon? It seems like I haven't seen you in a long time. Where you been? I know I don't come on here regularly, but I remember I do recall your name. At least you have, unless you have the same logo like someone else back in the day. Lee, far are you? Well, it's been a minute, so go ahead and comment, like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll start in a few more minutes. Let me gather some um, pertinent information to have my discussion. So, as some of y'all know, if you catch the replay, that I was one of those 800,000 plus people who had the student loans forgiven under the income base program. Now, basically, what that was that if you made 120 payments through 10 years and it was based on your income, after um, after making those number of payments, whether it was 20 or 25 years, which is ridiculous, your student loans would be forgiven. Now, this was not under the new plan that was implemented, which is the new one that Biden had implemented after the Supreme Court struck down the $10,000 or $20,000 student loan forgiveness. So, as some of y'all know who have student loans, October 1st, which is Saturday, which I'm quite sure it'll be Monday because, you know, the next business day, you will have to start paying back your student loans, which will start resuming interest on your student loans. So, um, they did implement some new programs based upon that they will not penalize you by if you made missing payments or late payments for a year, they won't put it on your credit report. But basically, the student loans interest will be resuming October 1st. As we know, it's the end of the week. So, anyways, I'm going to give some updates about the student loans and where it stands at this point. Now, a lot of people wish that the student loans were wiped out clean for everybody. But as we know, it was a lot of pushback from Republicans, conservative groups, a whole bunch of different groups, states that were um, opposed to that. Now, I'm not going to discuss the new programs or the updated income based programs because basically that's going to be going through a lot of changes. And depending on who's in the administration at the time, anything could happen. But let me tell you, if you live in 5 of these states, I'm going to pull it up. Let me pull it up. And the thing is that if you have your student loans forgiven under the income based program and your student loans are wiped out, say for instance, you had $200,000. No, let's be more. Let's say you had 6 figures of student loans and you live in these states. North Carolina was one. I was surprised, but I'm not surprised. If you live in these states and you had your student loans forgiven after making 10, no, not 10 years, 20 years of payments or 25 years of payments, and you had student loans forgiven and you live in these states, you're going to have to pay state income tax. Now, the states are Arkansas, California, Indiana, Minnesota, Mississippi, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. So if you had any student loans forgiveness and you live in those states, but you have to, part of this debt forgiveness, you may have to pay taxes on that. Now, I don't know if it's going to take effect the next tax season, next year, 2024, or hopefully, if people who live in those certain states, they may have to really deep dive into the code and the laws because it's really not. And they, I don't live in the state, state. So luckily for me, live in Georgia, there is no state. Yeah, I don't have to pay tax on that. But they would have to set aside, update a lot of that information in their systems. They may have to update the systems in terms of how it's going to be reported so that the state know that you had some student loans forgiveness. They would have to give some type of 1099 of some sort. Um, it's going to be a lot of things that those states in particular will have to work through. And it may be a lot of, it's going to be messed up. It's going to be screwed up. That's all I know. All I know is watching people on watching CNN and reading some of these updates about these student loans, a lot of people want cancel student debt. Not only do they want to cancel student debt, they also want to cancel rent. I mean, come on now, y'all being ridiculous. People lived in people's houses, apartments, 2 years, 3 years if you lived in California, didn't pay no rent, didn't get evicted, couldn't get evicted because of the COVID. And then now people want to um, punish those who think that they making so much money being a landlord or owning property and you're renting it. A lot of small businesses, small individuals, they lost their house because people weren't paying their rent during COVID. And this is ridiculous because some people made more money getting unemployment and getting the stimulus, making way more money in a month not working than they ever made. And then some people didn't even pay no rent because they figured, well, they could live somewhere rent free for over a year, 2 years, if not more. And in Georgia, oh, you can forget that. I know I'm going off topic now. Um, the eviction monitor, the eviction to serve people to get evicted is so backlogged in Atlanta and Metro Atlanta, DeKalb County, all these different counties, and people are just living free. And then when it's time to, when they do get evicted or they finally get forced out of the house or whatever the case may be, they want to look for an apartment and complain about the rent, cancel rent. That's ridiculous. That's why so many people, living in these little motels and oh, it's just ridiculous. I have a friend we talked about in terms of like, all this mess up about people living off the government and not even trying to improve themselves. Now, let me go back to the topic at hand, at student loans. Some people, they trying to shame others about these student loan debt forgiveness without even truly understanding and looking at it from a perspective of that these student loans, especially when you go to certain schools like University of Phoenix, for instance, University of Phoenix and several other schools, Capella, because I went to Capella, got my MBA degree from there. About to throw that damn MBA degree in the garbage, which I'm gonna do which I'm gonna, when I start to declutter, that's going in the garbage. It's not even worth me putting it on the wall at this point. But um, after years and years and years of paying under the income-based program, a lot of people should have student loans forgiven because a lot of people work at public service jobs, government jobs, teachers, firemen. Their income is based upon tax dollars. You know, it's based upon tax dollars. So if you went to school and you want to be a fireman, teacher, police officer, teacher working for the government, and a lot of these government agencies, they don't pay a whole lot of money. They don't have, it's job security. A lot of people always like to think because you work at the federal government, it's job security. It's not. Your income and increase and what they give you is all based on the taxes. So now the tax base is so low. They're not, the state and the federal government, they're not collecting a lot of the tax money. And please don't tell me nothing about, oh, they Mexican people, they come here and they working, they don't pay no tax. Everybody always like to say certain people ain't pay no taxes. Businesses ain't pay no taxes. Businesses, that's the least of the worries. Businesses, big corporations, and individual people are not taxed the same way. It is a whole lot different. If you are a business owner and you hear these little stupid people on YouTube who likes to think they some gurus and they like to tell people, if you start a business, you can hire your kids and you can write it off. You can write it off. You can write it off. You can't write off everything. All these people thinking you can make money. You think you're gonna make $100,000 as a small business owner, and you thinking that you could hire your ragged ass kids and thinking you could just write off. You don't write off everything at 100%. First of all, you know There is only so much of a limit you can write off. But first of all, when you have a business, you have to pay your quarterly estimated taxes every quarter. You don't pay no estimated taxes throughout the quarter and then try to write it down to negate it down to zero. The IRS code and rules specifies that very clearly if someone don't know. All right, three people, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. So when you hear people give advice that has no qualifications, no background, but they just hear something on YouTube and just run with it and telling people you could do Uber and Lyft and you could write off everything. First of all, you can write off your mileage is limited, but I'm not going to talk about that because at this point, a lot of people are going to have a lot of rude awakening. But back to the student loans. So those 7 states, if you live in those 7 states that I mentioned, I'm going to repeat it again. I shouldn't though. Arkansas. Wait a minute. Let me go back. California. You know California will be on the damn list. Minnesota, North Carolina. Let me see. Arkansas. You know what? Y'all just have to catch a replay with the states. But there are 7 states that you might have to pay taxes on it for debt forgiveness. And if you had a high, even if you had $50,000 of student loans forgiven, that $50,000 added on would be taxed. So therefore, a lot of people who live in those 7 states, they're gonna have they're gonna have a balance due and owe the state. I barely get a state refund from Georgia. I was like, God damn, I pay all these states for Georgia, and I'm only getting this little bit of money in a refund. I mean, ever since I moved to Georgia, it's always been like that. I never get no, I never get a big refund for the state. Never. And it's not good to get a big refund when you get your federal tax return either. Now you could get a few $1,000s here or there. That's good, but you're not supposed to. Tax season is not payday. Ooh, I'm tax season. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna get me a big refund. No, the refund is overpaid in tax that you paid. And let me tell you, all these child tax credit and earned income credit and all these little credits and stuff people be anticipating on getting, do mind you that eventually those things are going to be gone, those entitlements. And don't tell me nothing about businesses don't pay no taxes and they don't get all these credit, they don't pay zero. What you think when they pay unemployment tax, payroll tax, Medicare, they pay a portion. Businesses, companies they pay. So individual people, small business and corporations do not compare because it's not on the same level. For one thing, you know, the reason why people are so hung up about businesses don't pay and corporations and they did this, that, whatever. First of all, you're gonna pay a tax attorney, tax accountants, millions of dollars as you grow as a business. Big corporations, let me tell you, you know, people talk about the 1%, and all that kind of crap. Most of the time, the problem that most people have when they start complaining about businesses and people could do this and they could do that, it's because number one, you have a budgeting problem. You have a budget problem. Stop worrying and stop focusing so much about what companies and what this is doing. Worry about your personal finance. Take out a paper and pen, Excel spreadsheet, Google Sheets, something, and write out your money in your budget and control your own spending. You know, when you look at certain cultures, when I look at certain cultures like the Jews, like Jewish people, see, Jewish people, they keep, and it's not just Jewish people, it's other communities too. They keep their money in their communities. They let that dollar circulate within their communities. That's why when you go to, they don't worry about want to be integrated with other white folks and do, no. And I'm gonna talk about this topic about cultural monies and things like that on a different topic altogether, because I've been talking about this for the last few days with someone as I was going doing my Walmart Spark deliveries and things like that. But there's a there is a recent um, it's on CNN.com. But if you attended University of Phoenix got sued, but they were one of them where a lot of people are. But if you, I attended University of Phoenix. I was going University of Phoenix when I was working for IRS. Yeah, I was working at the IRS because I always take advantage of the tuition reimbursement and things like that. And I know I went to University of Phoenix. Took some courses in accounting. Um, I think the IRS paid. They got a tuition reimbursement, but also I think that I paid the difference too. So if you went to University of Phoenix, then you had your student loans forgiven as well. And this was announced today. I just read it. That's what made me prompt this topic. But there was several different Department of Education and class action lawsuits with all these for-profit schools that were predatory, that were misleading. They were telling people, "Oh, you go to this school, we help you get a job, and we could do this." And they promised a lot of things of opportunities and advancement. And basically, the approach of how they were marketing their school and how they signed up people and say, okay, you can sign up. We'll give you, it'll only cost you $20,000 to attend this school. It's not even a college or university. It's like these training programs. A lot of them ran a scam. A lot of them made made marketing materials of the graduation rate and how many people found a job and how many people was working. They told a lie. And therefore people should have their student loans forgiven under circumstances, because all they were doing was getting those government student loans, finding, Pell, not Pell, they were getting all their Pell grants and all this stuff, and they were just getting the money, making the money, making the money, you know. So when people say, "Well, ain't nobody forced you to go to school and go to that school and major in this," regardless what you majored in, it doesn't make a fucking difference. A lot of people think that people who majored in certain things, they say, "Oh, you don't get no your rate of return," and always like to stress, you can go get certificates, certifications. You go to school get certifications. Now they got all these different programs that said they'll teach you, you know, um, you get a certification. Certifications don't mean nothing either. You could get the certifications, that's great, but you also have to prove yourself that you could do it. Developing your own project, making websites, learning the code, learning to write your own codes and programs or something of the sort. Now, these student loans, I don't know. When tax season start again, a lot of people are going to be in those 7 states that I mentioned. It's going to be a whole lot of issues when it comes tax season, and a whole lot of confusion, and it's going to be a whole lot of mess. Especially, but let me tell you, if you wanted to opt out of the forgiveness, you could. They gave me an option. You want to opt out of the student loan forgiveness? I said, I'm not opting out of nothing, because see, my student loans would have been wiped out for what was remaining anyway, because the class action lawsuit, University of Phoenix, the income base after paying for almost 20 something years, y'all. Y'all, so in my other videos, I told you I was almost 30, if not yeah, I think I was almost in my late 20s, early 30 when I started paying back my student loans, and I was like, they were going over all the different options. I did a forbearance because at one point when I wasn't making no money or hardly anything, I put it on forbearance for a minute, and then I had worked for the government and I was paying it auto draft. 9.5, almost 10 years working at the IRS under the public service. That was an option where if it, because I was like, okay, I could stay with the federal government, and I was in the IRS with my position. That was one of the lowest positions. It wasn't a whole lot. Trust me. From a grade 5 all the way to a grade 8, and then after I got to an 8, you go in steps every 2 years. You know, and then I went through a period of time when almost, I want to say it's almost 14 years ago, there was a government freeze on government jobs. I had job offers to be a revenue agent. They took it back because they said due to a government freeze. All those years of me going to school, taking accounting and advanced accounting courses and classes so I could be a revenue officer, just to be rescinded because of the government freeze. And that was during Obama. I remember it was right during Obama. They had a 10-year government freeze. I was like, 10 years government freeze. Now, the IRS, so many people are retiring, so many people are leaving the government. They can't even they can't even they can't even replace the millions of people in the vacancies of the jobs with the IRS, the ones who answer the phone and dealing with letters and tax letters and stuff. So they got a company called Maximus, which is a private company that hires for state and local government for positions. You don't get no benefits, but you could work for a third party company contracted to work for the federal government. They can't even keep up and find enough people to work and fill these jobs at the IRS and any other agency for that matter. Because number one, a lot of the people who are older, they retired. I spoke to so many of my former not many, but a couple of my coworkers at the IRS. I tell them about TurboTax. They were like, hell no, they don't even want to work at TurboTax or any other company for that matter. They were like, nope. They don't want to deal with the stress. They don't want to deal with answering no phone calls, doing tax returns. They were like, no. They took their little pension and took their 401k, no, thrift plan, that's what it is. And they were like, mm-mm. And if they wanted to work a little job or something, they'll take one of those little easy jobs just to make a little bit extra income. And that's it. You know? So my coworkers, they about in their 60s now. They ain't looking, you know, if they did the right thing and budget their money and pay off their house and their mortgage. Some people, they just chilling. They like, mm-mm. One person, he came back from St. Kitts. I got Facebook for Marcus on Facebook. Yeah, Carlisle, he back from St. Kitts. Or was he St. Croix? No, he lived in St. Croix. St. Croix. Yeah, St. Croix. That's where he lived. And he back. He lived not too far from me, too. He don't live that far from me. They said, yeah, they was asking for you. People still asking for me. Even though I left the IRS since 2016, they still asking for me, seeing how I'm doing. But these people retired. I was like, because they were they were more older than me. A lot of them retired, living their best life, I guess. But some of them, they ain't trying to work nowhere else. The only reason why I'm studying data analytics was also be studying for my quizzes, studying my quizzes so I could take my assessment test in a couple of days for my first class. I'm trying to learn a new skills of data analytics. I figured I'll be 55 in a couple of months. I said, I want to learn because I still have some working years remaining, and I wanted to learn data analytics and programming and things of that nature to upgrade my skill set, whether I go with TurboTax next tax season or whatever. But I see that positions is going to change because they do it artificial intelligence, AI, in taxes in the forms. Even the IRS, they're going to be modernizing whenever they get to it. You don't need, they collect all these years. I've been knowing that for years. They collecting people's data. And it's going to get to a point you don't even file your tax return. You don't need to file it. They got all the information reported. And you could be like, bing, here you go. Here's your tax bill. This is what you owe. And as for people thinking they're getting these big, huge refunds, man, y'all better hang that up. Hang it up. Because it ain't going to happen. All these people who, want to lay on their lazy ass, they don't want to work. They just want to work at McDonald's or Yuck Yuck Burger, Burger King, and Yuck Yuck McDonald's and all the other nasty fast food places and give you nasty attitude when you come up there. You don't see, they work just a number of months just so they could file a tax return, because in order for you to get earned income credit and anything else, you have to have some kind of income. And they work just enough to sit on their fucking lazy asses, because they said you can't sit on your fucking lazy asses no more and collect welfare, collect Section 8 housing, and live in this housing and get food stamps and get this for your kids and having 10 billion kids with 10 billion baby daddies. Oh, close your legs. What about that? Women, not women, because I don't even call them women. Trifling ass women who got 10 babies, can't support them, can't feed them, but then you expect the government to keep on providing. That's another topic altogether too. A lot of people ain't gonna like me. They hate me when I use the N word so loosely. I know they're gonna hate me for saying that too. And don't let these little bums get off the hook too. Y'all little trifling ass guys. Y'all ain't gonna get away with the wrath either. Well, little skinny ass, no, closeted faggot ass people over in Atlanta walking around here, and then they want to have a whole bunch of kids by different women. And let me tell you, I got people in my immediate family, relatives that do that mess. I'll talk about y'all too. They want to have a bunch of babies with a bunch of different women, and then they always like to scream, "Hey, I got proof they cheated on me." Ain't nobody cheated on your dumb ass. And they know, exactly what I'm talking about. If you related to me, you know who I'm talking about. But you know what? They just as trifling. They just as trifling, and they so damn trifling that you can steal the women they go with. Just have a whole bunch of babies and don't want to support and don't want to pay child support, and they act like that little $200 a month child support. They act like it's killing them rather than getting the damn job. Amazon is always hiring. Matter of fact, if you want to work during the holidays, they hiring 275,000 people they need to hire during the holiday season. Now, I don't know if it's going to be so busy during Christmas, but people there's always some broke ass people that's going to go up there and buy Christmas stuff from cheap ass Walmart and buy stupid things that they don't need and be crying broke. I'm so sick and tired of driving around. Now I've been driving around. I've been noticing where I deliver and where I live, I see a whole bunch of these foreigners walking around with a sign in the middle of the damn highway 78 or 124 with a sign. Man, move out the fucking street. Have a sign. I got 2 babies and I can't. I need my. No. I gave one person advice. I said, you know what? He come pulling up to me up in Walmart, and he come in that little go kart thing where people supposed to who can't walk. He come riding up in there. Excuse me, but can I get some money? Get some, whatever he said. I don't know what the hell he said. I was like, no, I gotta work. That's what I'm doing now. Working hard, doing what I'm doing now. But I said I could give you some advice. You go down there go down to social services. They'll be able to help. I ain't got my ID, man. And then after that, I see him jumping in a big old F-150. Left the scooter thing next to somebody's car, blocking somebody's car. So when they get there, they have to ride it and move it out the way. And he got in the car and drove off. I'm like, hell no. And then let me tell you what happened last night. Last night, I'm at the Quick Trip leaving. This guy come walking up. walking, excuse me. I said, what? I want to say, nigga, what you fucking want? Nigga, what? He come up in here, but I didn't say that. I said, what? Uh, can I get a ride? Nigga, what the fuck you asking me for a fucking ride for? Who the hell are you? I sat up there. I mean, I already had the door closed, rolled up. I'm like, he come walking up to me all fast and stuff. I'm like, what? What do you want? I just want to know if I could get a ride up the street. I said, nigga, you. I said, there's buses. We know they got buses now. That's on 78. You can stand right up that corner. I'm going in this direction. No, I said the bus goes in both directions. What the hell you gonna ask me? I'm walking up on my ask me for a ride. I need to start carrying me a ding, ping, ping, because these dumb niggas are acting stupid. I'm asking me, can I get a ride? Nigga, how the fuck you got up to the damn Quick Trip? Better walk. Walking is good for you. I used to walk 5 miles, and I used to walk on over an hour if I had to get someplace. When I ain't had no car, and the bus didn't run on Sundays when I used to live in Marietta, I used to walk from the Vinings all the way to Franklin Road. Anybody knows about that? I was walking. That was a walk. That's how I was able to keep my weight down. I was real and fit too. I walked. If I ain't had no car, when I didn't have a car, I took the MARTA, I took public transportation, and if the bus stopped running, I started walking. Took my time and started walking, carrying my little piece in my pocket because I used to live on Moreland Avenue. It used to keep me a little, it wasn't a gun, it was a knife. Now, I ain't talking about no little pea knife. It was a switchblade. I used to walk around with that thing in my pocket, in my hand, walking back home. Did one of those crackheads come walking up to me. Sure did. I'm going to start probably finding me something. I don't know. I'm so scared about getting a gun. But, yeah, that fool come walking up on last night talking about he need a ride. Man, nigga, bye. You better catch. And then you on the phone, too. You got a phone. You better call their Uber or Lyft or get one of those scooters or something. Come walking up there and, I don't know what else with these people lately. They've been walking up there asking, begging, not even asking, begging. Shoot. I sit there and I hustle. They better find something else to do. I'm walking up there thinking, everybody got trying to get through some issues. Man, shoot. Man, anywho, what was else I was talking about? I already talked about the tax implications with the debt forgiveness. What was the other thing I was going to talk about? My update with Walmart, with Spark. So yesterday, I did pretty good for Monday. I had to do 4 more deliveries to get the incentive, which was an extra 60 something dollars. And then if I did a delivery at a certain Walmart, which I did 3, that was $20. I didn't bother to go to Sam's Club and do that incentive because I was like, with Sam's Club, they want way too many, way too many people, 3 people for 30 miles paying $12 or something crazy. I was like, no, the mileage and the money don't add up. And then, I said, nope. I was like, nope. So, I mean, $169.20. That includes the incentive, but let me break it down because I still have a $2 tip pending. So that's $171. So I did trip earnings was $70.38, and then I had $22.82 in tips. And then the incentive, which was carried over from the previous days, was $76. So even if I take out the incentive, I still made $92. Well, 94 once that $2 pending tip is updated. So I did pretty good, even without the incentives for a Monday for 4 deliveries. And I didn't do it all day either. I think I had started out maybe around 2ish, because if I don't wake up early in the morning and start, it gets kind of slow at a certain point. But see, like right now, I'm home. It's 2:43. It may not be as busy today because during the week, like Monday, I don't know why Monday tends. I know why Monday tends to be kind of busy because you're not just doing groceries. You also either picking up from Home Depot or something like that, and um, it's not just individual people who ordering groceries. It could also be um, schools or people who have office and stuff like that. So it depends. And I think a lot of people are not working on Mondays as much because a lot of people probably work part time. They probably do it part time on the weekends. And then when Monday comes, it's not as many people. But I don't know. I don't know why. But people are always going to order. I know yesterday I did um, two shops. Was it two shops? I didn't know two shops. I know I did one shop. It was real easy. It was a very few items for like $17, and I picked up Home Depot. See, that's the thing. It's not just about picking up groceries and stuff. You also could go to Home Depot. So I was picking up from Home Depot. I had a batch order. People order online for whatever. So that's one thing. So there's a lot of things that people do, but you know, but I'm working to save towards my remodeling jobs and my emergency fund so I could build up. And I will be going back to Amazon probably soon, going back to work. I have to go to this orthopedic specialist, and they probably gonna do some kind of test what you could do. Now, I've been complaining about my back and my pain, and it turned around. They said that um, they have missed a prescription, and I was telling y'all that for months. It wasn't just my neck; it was also my neck, which is also which runs down for your back. Then they saying that it's starting to that I'm starting to develop arthritis, and my mobility is going to be slower. So now I gotta I'm not trying to go back and doing what I was doing before. But I will be going back to work probably before November, at least before November, unless they can't find me nothing to do. But hopefully, um, when I do go back, I'm also going to limit my schedule anyway because I'm going to school, so I'm entitled for some hours. I'm reduced time. I only work 36 hours for 3 days. But when I go on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm not changing my schedule to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, I'm not doing that. So, um, yep, I'll be going back pretty soon. And hopefully they'll have something more comparable for me to do. But I'm still going to be doing Walmart Spark. I might do Walmart Spark later on this evening, just for a few hours. I'm not sure yet. I'll see. Because if I do it now, I'll see. Let me see. Let me look and see what it looks like. Oops, the map is glowing. Dang. I could turn on the app now and see because they do got some orders coming through. You know what? I may go out there because they got orders coming through. I'm going right back to the main Walmart. Let me see. I'm gonna turn it on and see if it's gonna beat me right now. Because if they do, I'm already dressed. All I do is go out the house and go. Let me do this until 5 o'clock. Turn it on. Oh, first come, first serve. Here it is. What the hell is this? Dang, it's gone that quick. The minute I turn, you heard that little beep? That's when you turn on the Walmart Spark and it will pop up. and it said first come first serve. So somebody grabbed it, but I wasn't going to take it anyway because I looked at it. I said, "What? I wasn't going to that particular Walmart anyway." And it was only $8. I think it was $8 for like 6 months. I don't know, something like that. Let me see. Yep. All right, let me turn this thing off for a minute. Turn it off. Let me look at the previous weeks because let me see. It's Tuesday. Was a Tuesday a good day for me in general? Let me go back to last week and see. On a Tuesday, last Tuesday, I only did $38.43, which was 3 trips. I know one thing. I know I didn't get a whole lot of. I don't get no tips during the week. Now, during the week, a lot of people they don't tend to tip. But when it comes Wednesday, not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's when you tend to see tips. Let me see. Thursday. Let me go back another week. Let me go back to September 11th. Hey, I looked at one of these weeks. I got a $10 unconfirmed tip that didn't carry through. What happened with that? Yeah, I don't tend. Let me see. I need to be sitting my butt down and start studying and do some more studies rather than going out today and clean. Mm, I may do some. I may do some. I just don't want to. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to be in the middle of 5 o'clock traffic. That's for sure. I know I don't want to do that. Yeah, Sam Club. Ooh. See, there's no incentives. There's no incentives this week, so it's kind of like they don't give out. They don't post those incentives until earlier in the week. No, later on in the week rather. But today only being Tuesday, it may not be as much. Okay, y'all. 4 people in the room, 3 thumbs ups. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up again. Much appreciated. If you didn't hit the thumbs and enter the room, go and hit it now. But anyway, I'm still doing Walmart Spark, of course. Um, it's starting to. I guess it's starting to be kind of, you know, not as busy, but it's getting busy. But it's still kind of. I still think it's still a little good thing to do. I don't really have nothing to compare to because like I said, it would have been November, no, late October. The end of October was when I finally came on, and it's still pretty good compared to the others. Now I'm going to do Because I told you I got accepted to GoPuff. I haven't started it yet, but they keep sending me email. Oh, go ahead and start. You know, and I'm still trying to figure out the area. Now, how they log me on? I gotta log on again. Okay, let me log back. I gotta set up the Stripe. They pay you through Stripe, so I have to set up that Stripe account, which I had before. I didn't. I didn't remember having done Stripe. I got paid through Stripe with one of those companies, but I can't remember. So I gotta set up a payment with the Stripe. But then when I looked at the schedules, it said all schedules were taken of some sort, and they tend to have. I noticed that they tend to do theirs. They tend to do theirs in more on the weekend, and they could stay open as long as 1:30 in the morning, which I'm not doing. I'm not going to say nobody 1:30 in the morning. So I may try it out. I may go to the one of the locations. I'm only going to go to the one that's in Scottsdale, Georgia Tech and Smyrna. That's too far. I'm not going to no Georgia Tech because that's downtown Lindbergh. I heard too many things going on with Lindbergh. A lot of people been getting carjacked and shot and robbed in Lindbergh and Buckhead area, that part of Buckhead. I just don't understand how so much. Well, I understand. I know why. 'Cause I know, but I may do Go Puff. I'm gonna do one of them. Um, I don't know. It won't be today because they don't have no schedule, and I don't feel like sitting around there. They pay you 16 cents a minute, but I need to set up the Stripe account, and then I'm gonna do Puff, Go Puff. But I think Go Puff tends to be geared towards college students, I would assume, because you basically are delivering snacks and stuff. And when I looked at the website on terms of the pricing, it don't seem that bad. I was like, it seemed like regular prices. If not, it seems like it's a little bit more cheaper to order. But who orders snacks? And that's a dumb question because trust me, people want to order water, snacks. They even sell alcohol, but you have to do the IDs and stuff. So, and I guess where these places are, like Georgia Tech and Smyrna, I guess it's probably geared towards younger um, Gen Z, as they like to call it now. They like to order things on the app. No tip. Don't know how to tip. Don't know how to be courteous either. I had a couple of them. I had to tell them, thank you. And I had to tell them, I'm like, oh, my bad, thanks. They don't even know how to say thank you. You ain't go to people's house and you don't even know how to say thank you. Because I didn't have to go the extra mile. I could have called you downstairs and say, excuse me, your stuff is here. Come on down to the car. But I don't do that. Now, if I need help and it's heavy, 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 and I know I'm walking up some stairs, I'll call them and ask them or whatever, or I'll try to bring it as close as I can. But my little wagon, that little wagon I bought to load, I haven't used that as much, but I do use it. But I also buy for my own personal use too. But I don't really have to go to a whole lot of, use the wagon as much because some people block their damn car when right in the path when you try to walk up to the door, which I don't understand. Why you got 5 cars? Not one person went down to the Walmart to get their groceries. But I'll pick them up. But like I said, you're gonna leave. I'm gonna pick it up if it's a good order. But if it's $6.50 and people that be off the chain. All these Walmart Spark orders be coming through. It'd be low paying, and then they want you to go so far, and then they live in an apartment, and then when you get in, and even if they live in a house, why you got your car parked blocking the walkways. Why? I just don't get it. You can't, then you try to walk to so you can put it to the door. You got the car parked there, and then you can't even walk around to get to the door. So you know what I do? You want to play stupid like that? I put that thing right there in the front of the damn garage. I sure do. I put it right there. You blocking me? I can't even walk around to the car. Can't walk, and y'all gotta, walk this. I throw that stuff right there. Bloop, drop it right there. But this is ridiculous. But how people, just block out the way. Anywho, all right, I've been on here almost an hour. So laugh for you, Lavon. Anybody else who came on, they didn't say hey. I don't know who's on here. I thought I was. Nobody else said nothing. Oh, okay. Well, if you're new, please like, comment, and subscribe. I much appreciate it. And I guess I'll talk to y'all. I may talk to y'all later tonight. I'm not sure. I'll come on later tonight. So let me go ahead and try to do some study my quizzes so I can take my assessment. And then I'm going to talk about, next time I come on, I'm going to talk about how you can get some free training. Because I got accepted to, I applied to this thing with Microsoft. And they had this called Microsoft Upward or something. And I saw it on LinkedIn and I applied. I got accepted. So basically, they teach you how to use the new tools and technology from Microsoft. And I'll be learning how to create bots and not bots. Yeah, chat bots and other things so I could advance my skills. So right now, I'm still studying, writing all my notes. I was asking my advisor, mentor. I was like, when am I gonna start learning how to write code and learn? I'm just tired of learning all these little theories. But this is the very first class, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going at it until Amazon don't pay for it no more. But with the career choice, I'm not taking no student loans out to do nothing no more. I said nope. If I leave Amazon and I don't have opportunity to finish prior to me finishing, which will be in the year 2020. Is it 2024 or 2025? But I'm going to keep on at it until. But I know somebody came out here and asked me about how do you some people want to go to school. And I was, at this time, I would suggest no one, don't take no student loans out. I don't care. Going to college and going to school, even if you say, I'm going for computer science or you're going for a degree or, there's too many programs out there that's needing people in high demand fields like nursing, and some will offer scholarships and programs for people to go for free. And trust me, I would have gone to college. I would have gone to school for free when I started. I wouldn't have had no student loans. If I stayed at Baruch College, I had scholarship to my father's job in the church and stuff, and I had a Pell Grant. The tuition was very, 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 very low. And that's when I left New York, went to USC, South Carolina, for other reasons. But and then went to Capella and went to all these others. Hey Charlie, how you doing? You're just chilling, looking at me. But you know what? It's not the same like it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, where, oh, you got to go to college, you got to go to college, you got to go to college. No, you do not. It's not necessary. You do not need to go to college. And, there's so many ways that people are going to school, even schools like WGU is nonprofit, but it's for adult learners. And even then, um, they try to offer some monies of scholarships and grants because they know a lot of people ain't really gravitating to go to college and take out no more loans, you know? And for me to finally got that out the way and got that finished with, I can't put myself back in I can't put myself back into no debt with no student loans. I'll pay whatever, I'll do whatever. There's some other learning, because there's a lot of things you can learn and don't require you to take years and years to do it. So, anywho, I guess I'll talk to you later. I'm gonna study, and let me see, it's 3 o'clock. I may just come out later. I'm gonna do after 5 o'clock. I'm not gonna go out right now. I'm gonna start out at 5:30 ish, 6 o'clock. Do a couple of hours, come back home, and that's it. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Like, comment, and subscribe. Much appreciated.